Afrofish OG. What is up, everyone? It is Taylor back again on the Afro and the Scorp podcast here, along with my co-host Black Scorpio. And today we have WayoftheLock back again, which I am super happy that he is able to make time for. Because let's be honest, time zones suck.
Absolutely. I have returned. I don't know how it was possible. I used all the magic I could to summon myself here.
I mean, no, that's fair. Like, I was just happy that you, like I said, that people have time, because it always feels like, you know, the older you get, the harder it is to make up time for this.
Exactly.
I don't know how some people. It's really funny because like I was watching, I think it was like a bit of like Joe Rogan's podcast, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know how this guy does it like on a day in and day out thing, like 2.5, like 3 hours, like it's like every single day. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I love podcasting. I love it. But I don't know if I could do it every single day. But I mean, then again, think about it. If they paid me as much as they paid Joe Rogan, then probably. Like, that dude makes buckets.
I was
gonna say eventually you're gonna get there. Don't kid yourself. Eventually you'll get to that point. You're gonna be flowing. You're gonna be on his level soon.
Yeah. Well, hey, always go for the goals that I always go for, because like I never dreamed to be like a big content creator or a big celebrity. I mean, I'd rather be like a local like celebrity, you know, for my people. If that makes sense.
No, that does. I'm in the same boat as you. I'm like, I'd rather be like more known locally than completely internationally, because it always comes with a hefty price that no matter where you go, people will always treat you differently. But at least locally, people will be like, they see you for who you are. They know who you are. Like, they keep you real. They keep you grounded.
No, exactly. I mean, like, it would be cool to be like a big, and also the scrutiny that you get with it too.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane sometimes, the way that people, you know, you're on a podcast with someone and they say something or something slips and they're like, remember when you said this? So yeah, it comes with all that good old fashioned cancel culture. So I personally am not a fan, but
that's why you always got to keep receipts. That way they can be like, "Oh, don't you remember when you said this? Well, actually, I meant this, but you know, here's a receipt to prove that you took my words out of context."
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, well, you've been kind of doing that up on TikTok when it comes to the Acolyte.
Oh yeah, I've had, because I'll have so many people tell me this and tell me that, and I'm like, well, I mean, actually, like if you look over here, here's another. Like I'll like pull up all these different examples.
No, which is good. I mean, that's the thing is like with you know, with games and all that stuff. A lot of times we already have something already set up. You know what I mean? So you just have to take a Wikipedia search and go look sometimes.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you always got to make sure that it's a credible source, because I know, doesn't Wikipedia, they have a thing on the bottom where it shows you where that comes from.
Yeah, they always. I think they do. They're supposed to, at least. I think they do always cite their sources.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of times you'll see like someone say like, oh, you know, let's say, oh no, the sky is purple, and someone's like, where's the source for that?
Yeah.
You know, which you should be able to at least, you know, like be able to at least cite your sources on stuff, because it's not gonna, you know, otherwise you kind of look kind of goofy if you don't.
Oh yeah.
But
and it's not nice feeling goofy. Makes you feel weird.
I mean, for most people, depends on what you're talking about. I'm not gonna lie.
That is true.
You know, if you just, and if they, you know, if they ever try to, you know, doubt you on it, you just call them a bigot, and you know, it ends the conversation. And that's what happens with like the Star Wars fandom right now. That's
note to self: if you ever want to end a conversation, just accuse someone of doing something.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I mean, God forbid, you could actually just have like an actual decent conversation back and forth with two opposing viewpoints.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, that's kind of the big thing that's going on right now. I mean, I guess we might as well get it out of the way quickly here. But what did you think of the Acolyte, the last episode?
What was that?
Episode 5.
Okay, episode 5. I thought It was really good. The fight scenes blew my mind. There was a one part that I really thought was interesting. I didn't know what material it was made out of until I was watching other people review it. And so I can't remember what the name of it is, but I guess it's like this material that we haven't seen since like the EU days. And I'm over here watching this villain, like the Sith, as he as he said that he would be called. And he's just like over here headbutting lightsabers, using his gauntlets to like deactivate them. And I'm like, oh, okay.
No, so the thing I will say with it that I thought, because I thought like it was fine. Like it felt a little disjointed, but it kind of felt like to me that it was two parts of the show, that I was kind of like the first half of it I was enjoying, and then the second half I was kind of eh. And I think it's like I'm more interested in everything else that doesn't have to do with May and Osha.
Yeah.
Like I was like the stuff with Soul. Like first off, I'm gonna talk about the fighting in there. I enjoyed like the fight scene between like May and Jackie.
Oh yes.
I thought that was cool. I actually liked that kind of hand-to-hand fighting thing.
I had to I rewind it like 2 or 3 times. Just the first half where she drop kicked him. Because in my mind, what was going on was she took a page out of Mike Guy's book where she was like, dynamic entry.
That's funny. I mean, if anyone wants to say anything about it, I'm pretty sure Anakin drop kicked Obi-Wan in their final.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. So, I thought that part was pretty cool. The one where it was like I just call them fodder Jedi. Like the fodder Jedi part had me a little dulled because it was just like it looked really bad. It wasn't until the one thing I will say was cool though is that he like stabbed the one Jedi and then used the Force pull to just stab, stab the other one, which I was like,
cool little Jedi kebab.
Yeah, and I know there was some people who were mad as why was Jackie so good in terms of the like lightsaber combat, but in reality, a lot of Padawans have some sort of like niche thing, anyways. It doesn't mean just because you're a Padawan doesn't mean you might not be proficient in something. And she was a above average lightsaber user. I think I put in my review that it was like it felt to me that I think I put it in Goofy's comments as well, Captain Goofy. Is that it felt like he wasn't taking Jackie seriously until she started with the dual lightsaber, and then he's like, "Yeah, we're not having this." Because I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was kind of cool that he pulled the second blade out. I thought that part I actually did enjoy. I think it's because it was the same as Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
Cal Kestis does it in Jedi Survivor. So like he pulls out the dual bladed and then he just gave her like the brainiac stab and proceeded to just drop her right then and there. But overall, like I said, the first half of that, all that was actually pretty good. It just once it got to the second part with May, I don't care.
See, and I feel like what they should have done, or what they did wrong, was they did the twin reveal way too early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. I just because at this point it's like this constant back and forth. Like honestly, the thing that doesn't make any sense is that in the last episode she was like, "Nope, I'm not doing this. Right? We're not doing this no more." And then she, after. What's her name? Osha's like, nah, you're a criminal. And she's like, oh, like, but we have each other, bro. Like, you just murdered like 3 people, like 2 people, 3, as far as I know.
Yeah, the episode 4, I will admit, she did kind of change up a little bit too fast. I understand why she did, but it was still too fast. I was like,
It was really too fast, and I think like. What doesn't make sense is that she saw her in episode 2, so she knew she was alive.
Yeah.
So like the fact that she's like, oh, well, my sister's alive, so everything changes now. And then she went from that to, oh, I failed, and then her master's like, well, yeah, because you're weak, you're kind of trash. And then
trash, get good, kid.
Yeah, right. Like, get good, and then just proceeded. She's like, "Well, then screw this." I'm like, man. As soon as you take like a hint of criticism, you just are like, "I'm just done." But then the whole thing of like her disguising herself as Osha was highly predictable.
I feel like right there, like that should have been when they revealed the twin thing, because like they should have kept it like, because when they first revealed Osha, and my mind was like, oh, all right, cool, maybe this is some kind of like split personality kind of thing, and they should have kept with that, and then maybe have like May like see her, but like she doesn't know it's her, like she'll think of like, why am I seeing myself or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it gets to that confrontation in episode 5 where you see them in the forest and they're looking at each other, and then that's when they're like, oh shit.
No, yeah, you're alive. No, I think that would have been better. Also, it doesn't feel like May is consistent. And I'm like, I know that they're like, oh, she's kind of the dark side, so she's kind of, the dark side of that, so she's a little more immature and blah blah blah. But like, not to this extent. It feels like they wanted. It's almost like they wanted. Maybe they just didn't get enough episodes that they wanted to tell the story fully. This is the same thing that happened with Has Been Hotel. If you already saw that.
I want to see it. I've had many people tell me you need to watch it.
So it's one of those shows where like people were like, "Oh my god, this is great," until you take a second viewing, and then you're like, "Oh, this is
this could have been better.
This is a show that's like a really bitch. It's a mess."
Yeah.
Like, and like I watched it, right? And the show is not terrible. It's well animated. It's very visually pretty. But the same problem is that I don't give a fuck about the main character. Like, that was my biggest criticism of it. There's just other characters in that show, and you'll see it if you watch it, that you just like better. And because of that, it takes away of so much. On top of that, it's one of those shows that should be self-contained,
Yeah.
But they wanted their cake and eat it too. And
what won me over with the show was, so I didn't see anything about the show. I just had people recommend it to me, and then all of a sudden I did one of my I think it was an afternoon walk, and I had my YouTube music playing, and usually it plays on shuffle. And there's this one song that came on. I'm like, okay, I can relate to this song. What is this? You didn't know? I didn't know it was from Has Been Hotel, and it was Losers. That's what the song was called. Loser baby. Yeah, and I looked and I went, oh shit, this Has Been Hotel. Okay, I might have to give the show a try.
Yeah, I won't say it's like a bad show. It's just a mess of a show, if that makes sense. That's the difference there. But yeah, it's definitely it's not, like I said, it's not garbage.
It's going under the acolyte syndrome.
Yeah, and I don't know, and I'm sure I think Scorp's probably seen this too if he's like in any kind of media where like you don't care about the main character. And it makes it hard to want to sit there and watch something.
Yeah.
Or want to even playing a video game. If like you don't care about the main character, it really kind of, to me, especially story-wise, it takes away from your purpose. It's kind of like that's the one thing issue I will say I do have a little bit with like the games like Elden Ring, which I love the lore for Elden Ring, but because like my Tarnished is basically just a walking plank of wood.
Yeah.
The interactions don't really matter, like even in the old, I would say with like Chief, right, with the old Halos, you could still kind of tell his emotions behind it, if that makes sense.
Could you not do that in the new one?
In the new ones, in the like the new Halos,
yeah,
he's just more vocal.
Oh, you're saying, wait, so in the old one he's not, but in the new one
in the old one, yeah, if you played the older, and Scorp, I'm pretty sure you can back me on that one. Yeah. In the older Halos, he's not nearly as vocal as he is in the newer ones.
Yeah, he's more action as opposed to more vocal.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, every line that he has is basically a certified banger. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like when he's I think it's, what is it, Halo 2, when he has the bomb and he's like, Sergeant Johnson's like, Chief, what are you doing? And he's like, sir, finishing this fight. And then just runs out with the bomb. And I'm like, I don't care what anybody says. That's just awesome.
That is pretty banger.
Like, it's just, but that was the thing. Like, they wanted, especially in Halo 4 and 5, they wanted to really highlight that, like, what Cortana means to Chief. which is kind of weird because we already saw that in Halo 3. I mean, the dude was literally losing his shit in Halo 3. Like, without Cortana there, which makes sense. I mean, basically, your AI is like the only thing that's your only friend. Your friend, your companion, pretty much like, you know, your only confidant. So, like, it made sense that when Chief doesn't have her around, he starts to lose her. He starts to lose it, you know what I mean?
He starts to become more human. Like, then that's when you start to see more emotion. Like, they start to bring in more, okay, he's not just a robot. He's not lifeless. Like, he is a person in a suit. Like, you didn't really need a lot of verbal, like, you did not need, oh, I'm gonna whoop ass, I'm gonna blah blah blah. No, you didn't need a lot of emotion. You just needed, here's my job, here's what I do, this is why I'm a badass. Versus you come in and it's like, okay, now, yeah, like Afro's been saying, Cortana he's been with Cortana since the beginning, and then that is his everything. And it's like, once that's gone, that's basically his sanity. That's it. It snaps. It's like, I am now human.
Well, have you guys seen the Doom, like Doom Eternal, the DLC?
I have.
Okay, so you know the end of the spoilers, whatever, for those who or anyone who watches. So the Doom, at the end of Doom, the Eternal, it's like you're fighting the Dark Lord, right? Which is basically you. What hell sees you as. And so the Dark Lord is like, oh, do you have anything to say to your creator? Basically, like the any last words things. And he just stabs him and he's like, no.
No.
Just no. It just rips him apart. And like I love that. I love the big, like, stoic, like, doesn't say anything kind of characters.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love my that's what I think is also fun too, is like, because The Legend of Zelda, you think about it, Link was kind of like that. He was more stoic, but at the same time he had emotion underneath him. That they could play through like visual storytelling, but I'm a big sucker for the big, like, emotion, like not emotionless, but like the stoic, like, badass. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like every character needs to be like this, like going through the whole character arc kind of feel. At least not in video games. But
I mean, you kind of get that with like Final Fantasy. Like, it's true. You sorry, it's true. You get games like the first few Halo games, you show no emotion. Doom, you rarely see emotion. Then you go to Final Fantasy, you see nothing but emotion. It's like different games, different heartstrings like that they try to play on, but you also got to see like what makes the game. Like, that's, like you said before, what draws you to the game. If the character is just meh, does the story at least capture you? Is there at least anything raw behind it? If you start to see that there's no emotion behind it, the game is not really going to be. The game's going to be a flop because you're just not expecting like 100 things. And it's like, okay, you're just playing some game. But when you get immersed and you start feeling it, that's where the emotions kick in.
No, exactly. I think too is another part that I will say is I don't mind the change. You look like someone like Kratos, right? When people say that, like, there was a big misconception for the longest time that Kratos was just a walking ball of anger, which wasn't totally wrong, but people would purposely misrepresent it and then like totally forget that there was like other parts to him.
Yeah, like there was a reason why he was angry.
Right. I mean, if you want to see one of the most difficult scenes for him is when, I think it's in Ascension, when he has to push away his daughter. Like, he has a chance to basically just die and live on with his daughter and his wife, and he chooses not to. So the whole thing is you have to hit this button, like button mashing to push her away. That is insane. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that you've, like, out of all this, this mass like the mass graveyards that he fills and stuff, but when it comes to his daughter, the hardest thing to do is to pull her away.
That reminds me of what you have to mash the button to like push her away. It reminds me of you guys played the one Guardian of the Galaxies game?
I have not.
There's a part that touch on Peter Quill's mom, and it's like this kind of hallucinated thing, and in order for Quill to like break away from it, he's got to like because like his mom goes in to hug him, and you gotta like mash to push her away, and then you also gotta pull out your blaster and you gotta shoot at her because she's the main cause of the illusion.
Damn. That's always like heartbreaking. It's like heartbreak. It's like kind of like Dark Souls 1, where you have Genevieve or Guinevere, I think her name is.
Yeah.
And then you realize that she's actually just an illusion, and I got sad. Like that was more for a different reason.
For me, it's because I haven't touched Guardians in a while, and like I went back to play it one time, and I came across that scene, and I was like, it hits different now that my mom passed away, and I was like,
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I don't want I don't know the word for it. I don't want to say it's not that I'm accepted. There we go. I was about to say the wrong phrase, but I've come to terms with it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's understandable. That's the thing too, is like, there's always gonna be moments in video games that will like hit you on like a personal level.
Yeah.
Like you ever had that? Yeah, like I said with your mom, Scorp. You ever had that moment where like it just kind of makes you put the controller down for a second?
I actually had that last night.
Really?
I couldn't. I'm like, my brain was fried. My hands were like solid locked. I'm like, why am I putting myself through this? But then at the same time, it's like I know I could beat it, but it's just like, why am I doing it?
And that was the Life of Pi, right? Or Life of Pi.
Liza P.
I didn't know they made a game off of the movie.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
Richard
basically the Souls-like. Yeah, Lies of P is the Souls-like Pinocchio game that they created. So it's like you're going around, and you already know from the get-go you are Pinocchio. You got to rescue Geppetto and everything, and it's basically Bloodborne's version of Pinocchio. So it's, to me, Afro and I, we did, if it wasn't for our guilty pleasure of not playing any Souls-like games podcast, I would not have touched this game. But since I did Bloodborne, some people wanted to see me do Lies of P. Some people are saying Elden Ring and stuff, but I'm like, you know what, Bloodborne, and now that I'm loving Lies of P equally as Bloodborne, I'm like, that's it. That's as far as I'm going. I'm not going to go Elden Ring.
When you said Lies of P is like a kind of Pinocchio thing,
yeah.
So does that mean, so the basic end game of the game is you have to run around to where you're trying to be a real boy?
Well, you would think that, but as you're playing, what you're doing is like the world around you are puppets, and there's a disease that humans, or alchemists they call themselves, are turning that world into said decay. And
what a surprise.
Yeah, and it's just it's interesting because here you're a puppet, but you're also having the same realities of being human at the same time. Like, in order for you to gain entrance into safety, you have to lie. But puppets, are they immune to humanity, or are they capable of human emotions and like, are they capable of humanity themselves? Like, are humans real, or are they just pieces of wood type style? Like, are they just creations?
I might have heard of that game. I might either see gameplays or people talk about it, but that game does sound familiar.
Yeah, that's what it was with like when I first played What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh my god, it was so good. And like, the more you go through it and you learn like what happens to these people, to like the family, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but when you get to the final twist at the end, and you can't help but just like sit back and are just like, oh my god. It's a fantastic game. There's quite a few of them. I'm actually like looking through some of my old games just to kind of get. Among the Sleep was another one too, that kind of made me. And I've talked about that one.
Wait, which one?
It's called Among the Sleep. It was an indie based game where you play as in the eyes of a toddler. And so you end up going through this like world, like kind of these like 3 world levels and stuff like that, and it's fun. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it does have like a twist part at the end, and you got to remember, since you're watching it through the eyes of a toddler, like the world's going to be different. But like it really,
what was the game called again?
Among the Sleep. But it was so, when I finished it, I was like, I just kind of sat there and I was like, damn, like this shit is wild. But there's a lot of games that, like, when I look back through it, that I'm like, oh damn, I didn't expect that.
Of this? I might have seen a gameplay of this, maybe.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It was good. Like, I would 100%. Like, it was really good. I'll never be able to do that.
Y'all giving me like just new games to try out.
Oh yeah, dude. Lake was another one too that I played. Because I was gonna like, what was that? Oh, like a year ago, I was in a real big kick for just indie games. Yeah. And Lake is basically like, if you took like a Lifetime movie and made it into a video game.
Huh.
About a woman who has to go back to her hometown, and then she gets a job as like a mail carrier. Then like you talk to the people around and stuff, and you deliver mail, and it's not difficult at all. But it's just fun. You know what I mean? It's just like a chilled video game. I would highly recommend it. There's a few games. I don't know if you have any other ones that are kind of hit hard like that, Scorp, but these are some of the big ones. Like I said, I'm still kind of scrolling through all my stuff.
There was one game I played when it was a big thing back when it came out. There was the Life is Strange series, and there was one that because when I was working at my one job down at camp, I had the only games I could play were the games that I either downloaded or bought. So I would just sit there after I'm done working. I'd sit in my trailer and I'd be playing the game, and it is not two. It was, I don't know if you guys heard of it, but it was I think it was Life is Strange 3. Or it was the Life is Strange and involved the two brothers. Okay. And I don't know if you guys played it, but there was something happened to like the dog that the little brother grew attached to, and I had to stop it, and I legit just like put my controller down. I turned off my Xbox and went, I can't do this. I can't do this. I was like, I'm done.
I'd say another one that's kind of like that too, that got me. Me and Scorp hasn't gone through this one. We keep saying we're going to. It's the Dark Pictures anthology.
I went through them all.
Yeah, so those are like horror-based ones, like choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Yeah.
I went through it with my wife, but it didn't end well. Watching the light go out of someone's eyes actually traumatized. So
damn.
But like another one is like the near games are good. If you really want some fun, like choose your own adventure ones that really stuck with me, The Wolf Among Us. It's a Telltale game.
Oh my god, those get me.
Yeah, those are so much fun.
Like Walking Dead, that was the anxiety of, oh god, what do I choose when I the Telltales.
Yep, Telltale. I forgot what they did, The Walking Dead, and that's actually one is like, I've asked Scorp this one, but I could be wrong. You ever had just like a scare moment? Like, what's like a I want to know from you, like your opinion. Like, what's like a scare moment you've ever had? That's like, just like a moment when you're playing a video game. Because I'll get into a couple of them because Scorp already knows a couple of mine. But I want to hear, like, you ever just had a moment where you're playing a video game and you're just like, yeah, I can't. I'm just like it freaks you out.
I don't think I had any so far. Not to my knowledge.
I mean, there are those moments where you do act out of it, where it's like, okay, something comes around the corner, you kind of jump, but you hit it head on. But as of those scare moments that like make you put your controller down and walk away, and like not do that part, I can't say that I have either.
Like walk away, I haven't, but like Scorpio said, like I've had like a jump scare, but I've never had a game actually had me put down a controller.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I feel like a big wuss right now because like I've had that happen like multiple times.
Oh, not this would be in between put down the controller, but also like a jump scare. It'd be in the middle. It'd be whenever I play with I used to play Dead by Daylight with a bunch of my friends, and depending on who the killer is, it is the most like tense situation ever. Because because if I'm playing as the killer, it's tense for my friends because I always choose the hag because I gave this whole background story where the hag is really called Granny, and she's this creepy, decrepit old lady that tries to kill you with her poison, but she goes, "Oh, come here, dearie, let me give you some cookies." When my buddy plays Michael Myers, he when I say he gets in the character, not a word. Like as soon as the game starts, it's dead silent, and then as soon as the match is over, he's like, "Oh, guys, that was some good games. Hey, I got you. Hey, you almost got me. You almost got away."
Oh, that's funny. Like I've never had. I haven't played Dead by Daylight, but
it's fun.
I did have like I call it an oh shit moment in BioShock 1. So I was playing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go beat one of these big daddies so I can get the little sister, right? Yeah. And I shocked the water, and I was fighting one of the Rosie versions, with the rivet gun.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I shock it, and I'm like, okay, that isn't that big of a deal. Well, then I'm like, kind of dodging. Out of nowhere, behind the Rosie, some sprinting one of the big daddies with like the drills. Like, and it is a full blown sprint. I'm like, oh fuck, and just turned around, ran straight for the exit. I was like, fuck that little sister, I'm out of here.
Fuck that little shit, I'm out.
Boom, shut the door. I was like, nope, I'm done.
Damn, it came spinning at you like what's that one movie?
No, it was like the dude from Get Out when he just
thank you. That's the one. Yeah, it was like the Get Out moment.
It was like that, but I was like, nah, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't. But like, no, for me, okay. So for me, I don't do well with two things. I don't do well with invisible monsters, okay, and I don't do well with disembodied hand monsters.
Disembodied hands.
Disembodied hand monsters.
What
yeah,
he gets too handsy with them.
Yeah, sad. So
I don't know what game is he playing now.
So I'll tell you two different games where this has happened. This probably stems from so I used to play like the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
So the wall masters in there are like these big hand monsters that will like pick you up and they'll take you to the entrance. Yeah. However, when you walk into this room, right? You walk into the room and then Navi, your fairy is like, hey, watch for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling. And like my kid brain's like, I'm sorry, what?
The what? It's like that one. It's like that one meme.
And so you're running. You jump in there and then you jump into the little like room and you just hear this kind of like sound, right? And you see the shadow of the monster behind it. In the original, it's just like a circle, but in like the remake version, it's actually the shadow of a hand. And if it catches you, it brings you back to the entrance. But I don't need that. Okay.
Like, I don't need that in my life. I'm good. I don't need that
in my life. Okay. So later on in my adulthood, I'm playing Elden Ring. And during Elden Ring, you end up fighting these things called finger creepers, which are just hands, but they're just big ass hands with like 8 limbs or 8. Yeah, they're like huge, like the size of like a horse. And so they're just hanging on this like ceiling thing. And I walk into Karia's manor and I froze like in the middle. I'm literally talking with a couple other guys and I can't move. I can't move my hands. Like I am so freaked out right now because I just re-traumatized myself.
What did I walk into?
I just could not physically move my body. And like I couldn't speak either. I'm just like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And my friend's like, it's Aaron at Scorp.
Yep.
And he's like, you all right? I'm like, yeah. Like I'm just like, I'm good. I got I know what to do. And so I go closer and I'm like, it jumped off the wall, it jumped off the wall. And so it like hits the ground and starts like crawling after me. I'm like, oh, I'm done. And I just turned it off. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm like, I can't really do this again. Which is funny because now I go back through that level I don't even fight them. I just run past. Just like
See,
no.
I had
You
I
do
had a
have
friend
to
of
finish that
mine.
level.
Yeah. Well, I got up to Karia the ghost, right?
Yeah, well, that ain't nothing. Supposedly, there's a boss.
Yeah, not Karia. Loretta. Loretta is the boss of that one.
Okay,
I
I'm still waiting
was
for you to like stream that one and finish it.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that one because I went to Radagon because God forbid I'm just going to like take a few shots and just proceed to kill every hand monster that I see.
yeah, there we go. That's how you do
Yeah,
it. For
but I
everyone you
can't.
kill, you take a shot.
Oh, I'll be dead.
I'll kill them all.
Like
All
are
the
you all
drinks
are
are
you
mine.
all right? Dodge, roll. But yeah, I just don't. By the time I get to the actual like boss, I'd be so ungodly hammered that like it just would not be a good time. But it's just funny, like watching this big hero, the TARDIS, and you're just like, nope.
I'm good. Nope.
I ran through that whole level. Like, didn't
Damn.
fight anyone. If I did have to go fight someone, I would just dodge roll and then just keep on running.
I'm just tucking roll.
I ain't playing.
Yeet.
I was like, I ain't playing no games with you. Like, no, it was yeah. I've had moments like that though. I don't do good with that stuff. It's kind of like you guys ever played Metroid Prime?
No,
I've heard of it, but no, I haven't played
Well,
it.
you guys are missing out because it's like a fantastic shooter. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing, but anyways,
Working in other games.
well, like yeah, obviously. But so Metroid Prime had this monster that's like this like, interdimensional one, right?
Yeah.
So like they had this one where it was this big interdimensional monster in Metroid Prime 2, and it's got like these little tendril things, and I start shooting at it, and for some reason I'm like, oh, I can't hit it. I can't hit. Why can't I hit this monster? Why can't I start freaking out? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And I go running backwards and like go through the other door. And it followed me through the door. And I'm like, I don't know it can do that. Just,
why are you following me?
like I started freaking out. Yeah, I do. Like anytime it's like invisible enemies. So like we have like enemies all of a sudden they just like disappear. And I'm like, I don't know. You can there's other visors you can get in the game that like lets you see like infrared, which is great. But let's be honest, if you don't have that visor,
I remember I used to always, when I would play like the horror games, I used to always find a way to like cheese the monster to get stuck, and I would talk mad shit. But then when the game would fix itself and the monster would be free, I'd be like, oh shit, I made a grave mistake. I'm sorry. Leave me alone.
That's how I feel though too. It's like I've made a lot of error here, and I might need to correct that. No, like that's why I love like the fact that like games can get me to that point. Although I'm not gonna lie, nothing. Scorp, were you watching me when I played Dead Space?
no, because I don't. I mean, there was that one time you did stream it, but it was just for a little bit, and then after that, I haven't seen you stream it again.
Yeah, I didn't get. Well, it's because I couldn't remember. Like, so something was wrong with my OBS, so I couldn't hear. So imagine playing Dead Space, but you can't hear anything.
Oh God, that's even
worse. So after a while, I was like, I got my nerves to the point. I'm like, yeah, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I'm gonna give myself a heart attack.
I just realized you reminded me. There was a game that I actually put down on the controller, and to this day, I only picked up that game once. It was Dead Space.
Oh, really?
It was back in what was it? One of my older sister's boyfriend had a PS3. And it was the demo for, I think it was the first Dead Space. And I was like, Dead Space? I've never played that before. I wonder if it's like Star Wars. And I'm like, oh, I'm in an abandoned ship. Cool, I'm in a cool little space shoot. All of a sudden I hear like, I'm like, the fuck was that? This creature comes out of nowhere, and I'm just like, ta-da! I get to like this one big room, and I'm like, where's all my ammo? I would have like whole clips on one body.
Oh my gosh. Like that's the thing that's so funny about Dead Space 2 is like that's how I felt with like when I played it. But I'll say another moment that's it's not like a stop me from playing, but it definitely was like a scare moment. And you ever played Dying Light?
That sounds.
Dying Light is like Mirror's Edge meets Dead Island, and like that game when you start running, like so it's a day and night cycle, right? In the days, the enemies, the zombies aren't that bad, but at night you get these like big like they're called like volatile ones.
Yeah.
And they are really terrifying. Like when you are parkouring, you're all that stuff to get to the light, into the light, and they will chase after you, and they will beat your ass in like 2 hits. And like, yeah, it's scary because when you hear them screaming, they're sprinting. You can see them on the little camera thing too. They're sprinting as fast as you are. And the first one, they're really scary because, like, you know, you might only have limited stamina until you level all the way up, and then you have like the highest point of your stamina. Until you get the grapple hook, which basically turns you into Spider-Man. So like, they must have not know how physics work on grappling hooks, because you could just launch a grapple hook, hook it to a building, and you just like fly up like it's the hook shot in Zelda.
Yeah,
it got me out of so many jams. But those games were generally scary though too. I like that fact of like when a game makes you feel uncomfortable. I'll say nothing makes you feel more uncomfortable than like playing any kind of Souls-based games and running out of health potions.
Oh gosh.
Like, I mean, Scorp, you were just going through like a whole stream of one boss. I'm sure that got you to your every once in a while.
Oh no, well, it's not a matter of running out of health potions. It's just a matter of like, oh yeah, you get stomped.
That was
Okay.
like
Then
I
you get
finally,
stomped.
I was gonna say I finally understood Dark Souls players when I played Jedi Fallen Order for the first time, and like I was like, all right, cool. Let me just save here, and then I can go back on my day. And I saved, and I went to walk around, and I went, they respawned.
They respawn.
I was like, what madness is this?
So you did play Jedi Fallen Order?
Yes.
Okay.
The newest one I haven't.
Oh, you haven't played Survivor yet? Oh,
I have
bro,
not.
you got,
I need to get I remember we talked about it the last podcast. I need to get a upgrade my system.
Oh, that's right. You know, and that was, yeah, it's even better, I think, in my opinion.
I've seen a few clips on YouTube, and I'm like, I want to play all this stuff so bad, but I only have an Xbox One.
Yeah, you got to get that Xbox. Oh, I mean, you can get Xbox Series with not too bad. It's not too bad at all.
Nah, it's not too bad. Like, because the one I have, I don't think it's the Xbox One that gives me like. Hold on, let me see if I can turn my camera on, because probably you'll know it once you see it. Hold on. It's like the white box right there.
Okay, yep, it's yeah, those ones. Those actually aren't that bad at all either.
But yeah, well, what's cool though is when I got it, it was a friend through a friend, and I guess this one was like this one was the real one because it has like what is it, it's either TB or GB, I can't. It's got a lot of space than like normally it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't remember. I can never tell the different size. It was like, actually, let me turn it on right now because I could probably look at it through the settings. But when the guy was selling it to me, because I biked to his house because he lived nearby, and he was telling me, "Oh yeah, it's like this one's it's different from the other ones because the way the stuff's inside, you have a bigger not memory but storage capacity."
Mm-hmm. No, and that makes sense. Like it's, you know, I like the Xbox One. It was definitely it was definitely a really good console itself, despite
TB,
everything.
that's what it is. I don't even know what that stands for, but yeah.
Terabyte.
Yeah. So I got like right now, and I have 2 games installing. But I have a 1.0 terabyte free space.
Nice. That's the one thing that's always weird to me is they made the Xbox Series S, but then they also made the Xbox One X, the Xbox One X, and I was like, yo, they're almost the same console.
Yeah.
Like I would like to get the Xbox Series X, but I at this point I don't see a purpose. I already have like everything that I need. But like with the PS5, you know, I have a PS5 as well, and I love it. I don't play it as much as I was before. Lately, I've been sitting on the Xbox train.
Yeah. I used to have both systems, and then my old cat, before he passed away, he had an accident, and it was on the shelf that my PlayStation 4 was on, and then that one got ruined, and then I got angry at my Xbox, and there were 2 dents in it. I didn't know about the first dent until my buddy looked at it. So then I had to get a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny. It's like I told my one buddy, I am the friendliest. I'm really friendly when it comes to people, but when it comes to technology, we just don't get along.
Nah, that's fair. Like, I, yeah, I love like man. Right now, I'm like between my Xbox, the PlayStation, and the Switch. Because I've been playing Smash Bros again.
I want to play that, but I don't. I that's one thing I don't have is a Switch, and I'm like, I want to play the new Smash.
Oh yeah, as soon as you get it, let me know. I will face off against you, no problem. I play a lot. Like right now, I'm playing as King K. Rool. That's my character in training right now.
Me, because I was especially happy when they brought back some of the old characters, and when my buddy had it and he was showing it to me, and I saw they had Dr. Mario, they had Kirby, and I was like, oh yeah, they got the good old Doctor.
The Doctor, yeah, no, they brought everyone. They brought everyone back for it, which I was super happy about.
Because I was gonna say with when I used to play with my friends in college, you know how like in the old Super Smash and even in this new one, you can put down different names, and I would always have my name be Obi, and people would always call me Dr. Obi because I was always either be Dr. Mario and also I like Star Wars.
No, that's fair. I like that Dr. Obi.
Yeah.
Like I like that a lot. Nah, it's speaking of Nintendo, I don't know if you and me talked about this, Did we talk about the Nintendo Direct?
We talked a little bit about it, but we didn't go into it 100% fully.
Okay, did any of you guys watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Wait,
okay.
Watch what? What happened?
So the Nintendo Direct, which was like a few weeks ago, which they dropped a bunch of new games, right?
Okay.
There was, yeah, it was a lot. So, like the first one that I thought was the craziest was a Legend of Zelda game that features Zelda. Like that was the Smash for 64 was the best. You know what? I will say it is a good one. It's been so long since I've played. I think it's on the Switch because the Switch did the backwards compatibility thing, so you can play a lot of games. I don't know if you knew that, Lock, but like, so what Nintendo did was like they put a lot of them on like a backwards compatibility. You got to pay like an extra thing for it, but it's like I have the Game Boy, which really this gets me kind of mad. But let me finish off first. So I got the N64, the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy, right? But I still can't. They won't give me Pokemon. God forbid you give me Pokemon for the DS because or the Game Boy because for a fact I'd be going back to go play Gold and Silver version, but they don't want to do that. Like assholes. But what happened was, the Smash for the 64 was good. Honestly, at this point, I've played Smash Ultimate for so long that I don't know if I could actually go back to playing the 64 version.
What's funny is I've only played the 64 version once, and because what got me into Super Smash, it was the game. It was either the GameCube, and then I owned the Wii version, and then I found out it was originally for N64, which that is the one game I have yet to own. Well, besides the Switch, but also the N64. It's escaped my grasp.
No, it's so all of them are good. Even the ones that I will say is Smash Smash PM, right? So, or not PM, but like Smash Brawl for the Wii, right? Smash Brawl for the Wii by far best music track. Best music. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that music is so bright.
There was I can't remember what website it was on, but back when there were you had those websites that had all the free little independent games, and there was this one that somebody made that was basically Super Smash, and they added there was Goku, Ichigo, I think Naruto, and there was one other anime character. For the life of me, I cannot find that game now.
Mario beats Goku. I'm just kidding.
Damn.
We're not gonna get into that. We're so not getting into that. That would be
That is how you get the Dragon Ball fandom in here.
dude, the
Do
Dragon
you
Ball
want
fandom
chaos?
is nuts. Like, you know what's really funny is how the Smash Bros. Or not Smash Bros. The Elden Ring, the Dark Souls, the FromSoft fanboys went from get good to get good now means like taking advantage of like all the stuff you have given. The summons, all that stuff. Because before it was just like, if you want to get good, you got to learn how to roll and all that stuff. And now it's like Goku wins every time. Yo, I'm like, okay, so hold on 1 second here. So I'm not gonna lie.
He is like, we're gonna address this.
What now gaming? I'm gonna let you know. I was like, next time we get that podcast, I'm gonna start railing off a bunch of characters that whoop Goku, and you'll see it. There'll be no. And I'm gonna tell you, you know who's one that I'll tell you right now who does?
Is it Superman?
Well, yes, but also Sailor Moon.
Oh
yeah. Sailor Moon whips the shit out of Goku, but that's for a different time. Different
podcast.
Yeah. So, but it's funny. Like, see, Scorp's not a big. Oh no, we are spending. We are spending at least half an episode talking about it. Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah! You guys are gonna have to stay tuned for that one because that's gonna be raw.
Let me know when you do that one.
I don't know if anything we might be able to get like maybe next week or something. Not like this coming weekend, but like the following one. But yeah, so that one's gonna be wild. But you know, when it comes to like Nintendo stuff, I love a lot of Nintendo's products. Honestly, like they're just really really fun. I think it's funny how Nintendo just kind of stayed out of the whole console war.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of like doing their own thing. Like they have their own characters and they focused on it.
You know what would be even better is if so this is something that I probably should have asked before. I wanted to ask this before, but like Scorp, this is on you too. There's a question for you too.
Okay.
If you ever played a video game that you were just like you played it and you're just really like you're like, wow, this is not as good as people thought that people said it was.
Oh, of course.
Which one was that?
The one where they overhyped it and then it's like you go play it and it's kind of mid. Maybe I should say Borderlands. No, I'm just joking.
Excuse me?
Wait.
Damn.
I don't know actually. Like there's been a few of them where it's like people are like, "Oh, this game is so good," and it's like, meh. There's too many of them. I'll probably come up with it after. I just got to go through like my entire list.
No,
I played like so many.
Oh yeah, when you realize like how many games you actually play, and then you're just like, oh, like there's probably some of them that I probably would think of that were like games that I've played that I was like, well, I mean, I could just say a bunch. I could list off a bunch of Madden games, but I'm not going to do that because Madden itself is kind of a failure in its own right. One of them actually, this is going to be a bit of, I would say Devil May Cry, the definitive edition. DMC one wasn't that great. Call of Duty World War II.
Oh my god,
pissed.
Who what now gaming? The newest Call of Duty. I feel you with that one. Because like the newest Call of Duty isn't what it used to be. Like the only one that I will play on the occasion is Cold War. I don't touch the new ones.
Call of Duty has, I mean, Scorp. I feel like every podcast me and Scorp have, I think will fall back to Call of Duty at some point.
That's like the only two Call of Duties I have downloaded are just Black Ops 1, Cold War. That's it.
See, okay, so the ones that I will play, I think Call of Duty went down after Black Ops 2. It started fluttering back and forth, and then it just kind of dipped.
Yeah.
It's never been the same. I actually ended up stopped playing after a while because I just was not interested anymore. I was just finding other games that I was enjoying. I think it was like 2016 where I really just stopped, and that's where I kicked into my Overwatch phase. And
that's something I gotta get into is Overwatch.
Okay, so Overwatch 1, you know what's really funny is I bought Overwatch 1 when it first came out.
Yeah.
I didn't really start playing it until like that was 2016. I didn't start playing it until like 2017.
Damn.
Yeah, because I just didn't get it. I didn't understand it.
I haven't played. I didn't play it until back because there was a group channel that I had before the Yin Yang show. We would call Team Do HQ, and we had our own little Overwatch thing that we would all do, and we would like pick a night and be like, all right, cool, everyone, we're gonna game on this night, and we would just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played Overwatch 2 though.
Really? Yeah, Overwatch. So Overwatch 1 was fun. It was actually Overwatch 1 I did have a good time with, and I loved it. I played the shit out of it. It was funny because
who did you main is the question.
It bounced. So when I started playing like as like Widowmaker.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna start getting used to like playing as like other characters. So I played Mei for a while too.
Okay.
And
yeah, you used to main Mei for quite a while.
Yeah, I was ridiculous as Mei. And after they buffed her, so her headshots were basically about as strong as McCree's headshots.
Yeah.
So you would just boom, 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 and it was like you would just start dropping people. But so I got annoyed because no one would play healer well. No one played a healer well, and so eventually I just switched over to support. I played tank and support, and now all I play if I play Overwatch is tank and support.
Well, it's actually very funny though because like when I used to play, like I used to be heavily involved in it as well. I used to main Mercy. Mercy was my main. I used to main Mercy and Diva, and it's like if you would like, for me to drop high numbers as a Mercy showed a problem, like when they were attacks. But when it came to heals, you'd always be covered.
Well, that's the thing too is like I would get so annoyed because like people who would play support and they just sucked. They would just run around. They would never heal you ever. And so it would just compromise the whole team. And eventually after a while, I was like, yo, dude, fuck this. I'm going to start playing it. I'm just going to start playing on my own, like playing support myself. And I actually did really well.
Oh, yeah. And that used to piss me off. Like nobody would be healing. Nobody would be doing anything. And me as like I said, as playing as a Mercy, what pissed me off the most is I'd have to fly halfway across the map to res that person, only to have that person trash talk saying that I was doing absolutely nothing, but yet I'm over there dying constantly to get their ass up. And then on top of that, it's like you don't see that when a Mercy has to travel halfway across the map to res somebody because other people on their team are playing camping or just sitting there doing absolutely trash, which are your support characters and your attackers who are sitting in your main base doing absolutely jack shit. Well, how can you shit talk a healer when I have the most deaths on the team, but yet I come out with over 100k in health healing, and yet you say I'm the one that's playing trash?
Well, do you want to know why? Do you want to know why?
Because I'm not Asian?
No, you
damn.
Like
no,
I'm sorry. I will call that out because it was those communities. Like it is heavily favored, and it's not being a racial topic or anything. It's just the fact that like those communities are the ones that made Overwatch 2 try to be as toxic as it is to live up to the COD community, but yet they just overall suck. They're the ones that the more I played with, the more, I'm sorry, shittier it got because they don't know how to play. They only know how to play for themselves, but not as teams. It has nothing to do with like with that fact. It's like when everybody says, "Oh, go play League of Legends, go play League of Legends." Yeah, you could tell the group is subdivided by certain categories because it heavily favors one server more than the other. And Overwatch was heavily based on more of the Asian servers as opposed to the North American, EU, and everything servers. So when you wanted good games, you would have to go there. That's what I'm saying. Not like, being a whole stereotypical racial whatever. No, that's on their server. It's on the Asian servers. So like,
see, the problem that I had with it was like I think for me the problem that I had with Overwatch was like finding the cohesion between players. But it wasn't just that. It was like you get, for example, like you get players who are like, oh my god, we need like a Baptiste right now. We need a Baptiste. Okay, then go play Baptiste.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
need,
And
you
then they
need
don't play back. Well, I'm better off as Reinhardt, but we don't need a Reinhardt. Yeah, but I don't want to play Baptiste. Okay, then don't talk like now. Like, oh, you guys all suck because you guys don't want to help out, blah blah blah. And it's just like, yo, it's like y'all are too toxic, but at the same time, y'all are also too stupid to realize that you're the problem.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Those are the ones that are like the ones bitching and complaining the most. Oh, we need a healer.
That's how you
but
say his name.
What?
No, sorry, I was talking. I just realized something. I didn't know who Bastien was, and then it's like, oh, you mean Bastion? Or as I call him, Android 16.
No.
Baptiste
Baptiste
is
is
a
not
support.
Bastion. Baptiste is the is like the Mercy with a gun, basically.
Wait, how do you spell his name?
Baptiste, Baptise, I think.
Wait, B-A what?
Ptise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's the dude with the
Let me see.
what kind of the kill mod. He has kill mod.
Oh, you mean who? Oh, Tyrone. You mean Tyrone? There we go. That's what that is. Oh yeah.
Tyrone?
So one of the things that my Overwatch group hated was I would never call the characters by their actual names. I would give them code names. And that was the code name for Bastien was Tyrone.
So then who would be Bastion?
Oh, Bastion's Android 16 because there was a skin where he was all nature and he had a bird on it, and I was like, oh, it's like Android 16.
I like birds.
Birds.
Who was Mercy?
Mercy is Mercy because you respect your healers. God damn it!
I remember the one day I did a thing of like, okay, so we did. If you took all the characters from Overwatch and put them in a school as like teachers and like who would they be like? It was actually really fun. So like I had like the gym coach would be like Reinhardt.
Makes sense.
I think I think I had Soldier as the gym coach. I think he seems like he'd be the coach of whatever team it is, like volleyball team or something like that, and he'd be like, "All right, we're going to win state this year."
Damn.
So it was fun. Like it was definitely fun.
I don't mean to go back to the old topic, but I didn't say who I mained. So there was the two I mained. I can't remember how to say her name, but I call her babysitting robot because she was just so nice and kind.
Echo?
No, not Echo. She was she had the ability where she had the hand cannon, and also she can deploy a shield.
Oh, Orisa.
Yeah, babysitting robot. That's the one. Orisa.
Babysitting robot.
Because she sounded like her lines made her sound like, you know, that caring kind of nurturing babysitter. And then when I'm not using her, I'm doing Tyrese.
Which one's Tyrese?
Tyrese is the one we were talking about. Not Bastion, but Baptiste. There we go.
Jeez. That's fair. So when I mained after a while, like I just got so good. Ana was probably the most difficult one to learn.
I mean, she wasn't that bad. She was the second sniper to Widowmaker. She was the one that could snipe and heal at the same time.
Well, that was the part that was difficult, was that she was like, it was the how to play as her, because she is kind of situational, but her heals could get pretty nutty.
And then putting people to sleep on top of that as her like ability.
Name?
Yeah, her ability itself was that's what was fun about it too. That's why I like playing as her.
I tend to gravitate
I don't think I gave Ana a code name, huh?
That's because
I think she was the one I couldn't think of one.
I mean, I could give you a reason why you probably gravitate towards them, but I'm just gonna keep it quiet right now.
What? No, say it. I am a sniper player.
Oh, I have to. Oh, towards snipers or healers? Because snipers. I mean, all I have to say is help.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, healers as well as supports. Yeah, half my KD goes towards people that don't deserve.
Oh wait, I didn't come up with one for her because she's Ana, because Overwatch has Elsa, so that way there's Elsa and Ana. That's why Ana didn't get a nickname. Okay. Because I can't remember the actual character's name, but there's somebody in there with ice powers, so I call her Elsa. That's why Ana didn't get a nickname.
Well, May is the only one, I guess, with ice powers, unless they added.
Yeah, the one that makes the ice wall. That
May.
one. Yeah, that's Elsa. And that way there was Elsa and Ana in Overwatch, because you can't have one without the other.
That
makes sense.
Yeah, I got nothing to say against that.
Oh, maybe I called Mercy Angel. No, I think Mercy. Yeah, Mercy might have been the only exception. It's
Maybe I
either
should
Mercy was Angel, or I just called Mercy Mercy because you whenever you have a Mercy, you respect her. Because if you don't respect your Mercy, you don't get heals.
No, that is a fact. You know how many times I let players die? I'm like, I ain't healing you if you're treating me like shit. I'm gonna let you burn for all I care.
That's horrible.
I don't care. Like, you're not getting 100k heals if you're gonna trash talk me. I don't care.
You know what's more horrible is having. I'm trying to remember what was the DJ healer?
Oh,
Lucio.
Yeah, Lucio.
Lucio's code name was whatever rapper with dreads or just whatever rapper popped in my head. So like one game is DJ Khaled, the next it's
DJ Khaled doesn't have dreads.
That's why I either said dreads or I just said rapper. Whatever rapper pops in my head that I think is Lucio, because I'll be like DJ Khaled or I think one time I did Metro because at the time I heard one of his songs, or just again whatever rapper pops up in my head.
I'm not gonna lie, Lucio. When I first saw him in Overwatch, like he reminded me of Tekken, like you know Eddie
Gordo.
Yeah, where he does the breakdancing and everything. But that was
that's capoeira.
Like, yeah, that's capoeira.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's an actual fighting style. But I'm just saying, it's just.
I know it's an actual fighting style. It's dope as hell.
Yeah, it is. No, but that's what I'm saying. That's Overwatch's Eddie.
True.
I was gonna say here's an obvious one, and this one, since Afro, you said you mained her. Do you know who Widowmaker's code name was?
Spider.
Close. No, it's Black Widow.
Oh.
I used to main Widow for a little bit as well.
She's a ballerina.
Mm-hmm. She was a hot one.
She in I think she ends up because she's basically almost a zombie actually. In whatever lore it is, which is kind of nutty. But yeah, she's really fun. I don't know
other like blue skin.
Oh, I bet you do.
I'm not like awesome for her. I don't care.
I know.
She was hot.
I know.
Yeah. Wait, we still talking about Widowmaker?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll back that up.
I'll back that
like up. Her and Mercy were my top two.
It was only Widowmaker for me, but that was because of my childhood and having all them goth women on TV. I just saw Widowmaker.
I have nothing to say that's negative about that. That is 100% factual.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Like there was, I mean, yeah, the goth.
It was like this shit. God, the memories.
Yeah, I was a young lad once.
We all were young lads. I remember in my day.
Yeah, well, I remember back in my youth. But no, it's overall I would definitely say Overwatch had a pretty decent cast when it came to like their characters and stuff. My favorite one, like all of them, Reinhardt by far. Reinhardt was the dopest. I love that dude. Like he's one of those. It seems like those type of people that you just sit there and talk to.
Hold
on.
And
you just had the best conversations over nothing.
Yeah, I think I remember. I just need to see because I think I remember. You said Reinhardt. That reminded me. Oh, yep. Only because of his mask. And at the time, I didn't know the villain's name. So this one's a long one. So Reinhardt was it's that villain from Lord of the Rings whose name I forgot.
The villain from Lord of the Rings. Which one?
The main one.
Sauron?
Yeah. Only because that's what his mask reminded me of. So I was like, that villain from Lord of the Rings.
Reminded you of Sauron.
Yeah.
You know who's not really getting a lot of love? Warthog.
Yeah, Warthog don't get much love, and it kind of bothers me because he's
like him with Junkrat.
Him and Junkrat. Because they ended up bringing in the Junker Queen. which was she was was it? Yeah, it was the Junker Queen. She was the one who killed.
Warhawk will ever be. He's
Warthog
a
is
good
just
character, but he will be on my hate list because every match I get in, I always get caught up in the chain.
You ever hear of the what do they call it? It was called the Chain of Time and Space or something like that when it first came through.
Wait, what?
Okay, so back in like early Overwatch, they called it the Chain of Time and Space. And the reason why was because you would throw the chain out, right?
Okay.
And if Tracer was using her recall, it could pull her out of the recall.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid. Like, so if you were if you were a Tracer main, like it was just not a fun time.
I mean, it's good that they came out with that too because there was a lot of people that took so much advantage of that.
Of the chain. Well, the chain eventually got like patched because it could also go flying around corners. Like you'd launch it and it'd go around corners and grab people around corners. So the chain became so ridiculous.
Well, it wasn't just the chain that became like too stupid. It was also like the players of like how bad like they took advantage of that Tracer time warp because that thing was also broken too.
Well, not really. I mean, to be honest with you, the Tracer time warp is not that bad. Like, it's more or less like, I could definitely say it can be kind of annoying if you know how to use Tracer.
Oh no, like I've seen good players use it. Like I've seen the Overwatch leagues.
I used to pew and then run away.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've seen the Overwatch leagues too, where like a good Tracer, not even just in Overwatch League, but just in general, like a good Tracer can just ruin your entire day.
Oh, of course.
But that's the point of damage, though, too. Like, she's just poke damage. And if you're not careful, it's just a bad time.
So that's a question now I want to ask you guys. Have you guys started watching more esports lately, or like esports? Have you even watched them back in the day? Like, where do you gravitate towards those right now?
The only time I've ever seen something about esports is when me and my nephew, when he was younger, used to play. It was one of the NFL games on the GameCube, and it was EA Sports. That's the only time I've ever messed with esports.
I have never messed with. Nope. I shouldn't say that. Let me correct that. I have watched like esports in terms of like what's the Overwatch League, right? Because it was on. They actually put the Overwatch League on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They had it up on Disney Channel.
Yeah, the Owl League. Yeah. I've seen that a few times.
So that was fun. Because I was working at a home with people with like disabled, and I pretty much just like forced them to watch it. So like
watch it with me, so I'm not by myself.
I was like, yeah, we're watching this, and they're like, well, I don't really want to watch this, and I was like, oh, okay, what do you want to watch?
Oh, you should have hit him with that holes reference. Well, that's too damn bad.
That'd been funny. But yeah, like I was like, no, we can watch whatever you want to watch, and then as soon as they would go to the bathroom, I'd turn it.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking is because just now, like the CDL, like I'm watching the CDL, the Call of Duty League and everything. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm a huge Call of Duty fan. Like I just put it on because it's entertaining, and some people could say otherwise. Like right now, obviously I support Toronto, which is being the only Canadian team that's in there at the moment. They just got knocked out of fourth. It's just funny watching the chat, how like toxic the chat is, but then again, they're all a bunch of incels and a bunch of simps that don't know absolutely anything about the game. They just come in and be like, oh yeah, Floptic, in other words Optic, they're like Texas, and it's like they come in and they talk trash and they're like, oh, Toronto sucks, get this Canadian team out of there, blah blah blah. But it's like, yeah, you weren't even around since the beginning. You're just a bunch of bandwagoners. Like you could see who the real fans are versus the fake wannabes. But then again, like I used to watch that. I watched a bit of like the Owl League, the Gears League way back in the day and stuff like that. Like I made a kind of a personal goal to try to like watch a little bit more esports nowadays. But as for entertainment wise, I mean, I feel like it's kind of gone. They're kind of struggling in the sense that like they're trying to capture the people's attentions, but when it's only like 12 teams and like only 4 of them are like the best of the best, and the other like 8 teams are trash, there's nothing really there. So
Yeah.
like entertainment purposes wise, it's like you wanted to somehow make a comeback like how they used to be. I mean, like the League of Legends leagues and everything are around, but they're kind of boring to watch if you want to really watch that
Yeah,
now.
they are actually very boring to watch.
Yeah, it's like I just wish nowadays, like at least the CDO is making some hype about it. Like they're adding money to it. X Define is trying to come out with one. So hopefully there could be a future for that.
I mean, there might, but yeah, it's like you said, it's actually really boring, and that's what kind of makes it difficult at times to sit there and even want to continue to watch. So, yeah, I don't know about that, but I mean, there's not a whole lot that I really watch in terms of leagues. Like, if I'm there, like I'll watch like the Smash Bros or like the Street Fighters, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind seeing that like on TV. Like I wouldn't mind seeing a Smash Bros. Like
I
friggin'
think
league.
Street Fighter would be a lot more fun, to be honest, to watch.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Oh, Mortal Kombat's been kind of suffering. Like, from what I know, is that Mortal Kombat has not been doing as well, Mortal Kombat 1, as they hoped it would have.
I haven't looked into it, but is it true they have Ghostface coming to the newest game?
I wouldn't be surprised considering.
I hope not. I really hope not.
I've never understood the whole thing about Ghostface. I've never been a big fan of Ghostface. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, as a horror fan, like I do love my Scream. I do love like my original 3, obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street. Then there's the whole Halloween and the whole Friday the 13th series and everything. But it's like bringing Ghostface in, there's nothing really too special, too spectacular. COD did that, and like ever since COD like brought him into games, it's like every other game has to jump on the hype train now.
Well, that's the thing. Like the point where they had like Nicki Minaj as like one of them was always.
Oh, that was just stupid.
Like I never really understood the whole like skins for like. I mean, they have like Call of Duty has like the boys, but I feel like the only reason they have like the skins they have is because Overwatch took it, or not Overwatch, Fortnite took everything else.
I will say the one thing I don't like that they do is they'll have like good game. The COD will have the games, and as soon as the new one comes out, they'll just forget about the old ones. Because like, I would love to have like, because you know how they had the King Kong and the Godzilla and the boys skin. What makes me sad, or what makes me, I don't know if it's sad or irritated, is you can only get it on the newer games. You can't get it in the older games like Cold War.
Oh, well, and that's the thing, like, because they already hyped up with so much was Warzone. Yeah. Warzone. And, I mean, I'm not saying that Warzone is bad. I just not a fan of Warzone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you tried a little bit of COD. Like, you tried a little bit of Warzone. Warzone does get boring after a while.
Because the way I see, I don't mean to interrupt you, Scorpio. I was say the way I see it is, it's just like mostly all the Royale games.
Yep, that's what it is. X Defiant is where it's at. Apex is where it's at. Fortnite, it's where it's at because it's all fast paced. Warzone is a bunch of camping. Not gonna lie, everybody waits till the circle gets in. People could say the same thing about Apex. Like I've come from all these games. I am like out of the two of us, I am the multiplayer. Like right now, I'm playing X Defiant as we speak. And it's like, it's fast paced. I could tell you everything about it. I'm like, even when Afro joined in with me, even on Fortnite, like I made him have some fun. But
I know
is he gonna stick?
I was gonna say, I know the one thing that blew my friend's mind because I was talking with them yesterday about it, where I was just like, yeah, I was telling them, oh, Fortnite's probably still around because they're copying what the competition does. And he looked at me and I was like, yeah, because before we got the reboot van, they saw Apex and they went, "Oh, that looks cool. I'm gonna make." I was like, "I'm gonna have a reboot van."
I haven't played Apex in I don't know how long.
I haven't played in a while. It was either a year or a 2-year hiatus. I tried to get back with my usual clique, and I just lost the edge. And
I
I haven't
basically
touched
retired
it
from
since.
it. Yeah, I retired from it. I played since beta days. I stopped at like season 12 fully. I tried out season 16. After that, like I
Is it
I
like
can't.
different or?
It's gone to console wars. It's
Mm,
it's gone so toxic to the point where it's like the whole spiel about Apex is the fact that now before season 7, like up to season 7, Apex was just on console.
hmm.
And what bothered people was the fact that they're like, oh, computer players are like, oh, why can't it come to a computer? Why can't it come to a computer? The moment that it came to computers, which is like to PC, which is hilarious, is the fact that the moment Apex went PC cross platform, it got flooded with hackers. It got flooded with cheaters. It
Hmm.
got flooded with everything. It got destroyed. Then now, because they focused more on PC players in Apex and everything, now you have the PC players taking over, and it's gone favoredly heavy towards PC players. That they're bitching and complaining, saying, "Get rid of console players." So now they're basically making it their game. So
Hmm.
that's why I stopped, because it got so toxic. It got so stupid at the fact that like everybody's about these console wars, and it's like, okay, well, you guys are coming to like every other console anyways. So you're talking about aim assist with controllers, but yet you guys have every hacks from here under the sun. All you have to do is type in a command, and there you go. You've altered the algorithm of the game. So
Mhm.
again, all these like PC enthusiasts, the ones that bitch and complain saying, "Oh, it's all about aim assist. It's all about aim assist." They don't understand that the reason why a lot of companies went consoles is to avoid people hacking about how easy it is to hack on PC. Like consoles, you can't upgrade them, or you can modify them, but you'd have to go out and spend money to purchase these things. Whereas on computers, you could download a file and it could change the algorithms on its own. So
True.
again, I don't give a shit about like PlayStation or versus Xbox versus PC anymore. I got a PC now. If I want to play a PC game, great. If I want to play a console game, great. I don't care. These are all these newer generations that try to think that, oh, you should get it on PC because all these hackers on consoles, or all these consoles are like, oh, all these hackers on PCs. It's like it doesn't matter. They're the same game. These people that want to destroy it are
Yeah.
already doing it for you. They're already destroying the games. So go play. If you go play Apex now, guarantee you're gonna get put with hackers. You're gonna get put in a hacker lobby. Call of Duty, notorious for hacking.
Oh yeah.
Notorious. Like Overwatch, forget it. Overwatch is just the same. Like if you, perfect example. I got put into a game when I played COD. One of these days, I uninstalled it because I'm like, I'm taking a huge break from it because, yeah, like you said, Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3 is trash. There's absolutely
Yeah.
nothing good about it. It's a waste of money. Like there's nothing new until Black Ops 6. So I tried one game. The moment I spawned in, I got sniped from across the map. And I'm thinking to myself,
Damn.
like, how do you get seen from halfway across the map? It's a person that had literally aimbot with
Is this on
wall.
Apex?
No, this was in COD. In
Oh.
Apex, you don't even need that. You just have like free roaming aimbotting. That's all it is.
Mm.
You have Cronus, aimbotting, you name it, it's all in Apex too.
Damn. Yeah, I didn't know it was that bad.
Oh yeah. And then people are gonna sit there and be like, oh no. Yeah? Then why is it the moment it went from season 7 to season now, you have a lot of people complaining that there's more anti-cheats, more and like hackers, more cheaters, and even anti-cheats like Call of Duty's Ricochet can't even keep up with them anymore. Apex had the best ideas saying that if you were caught cheating, you should be put into lobbies with other cheaters. They did do that. And then when you hear the weekly reports of people getting shadow banned and banned off all these games, that puts into perspective how many cheaters there are in the world. And people are like, "Oh no, you just suck. That's why you're cheating." Yeah, the people that say that you suck are the ones cheating themselves
Well,
because
it's that
like,
trash, like get good
yeah.
mentality kind of thing. Like that's
I
what
have a
that's
question. Some popped up on Facebook, and you guys are Overwatch players too. Is that true that the same voice for Reinhardt is the same voice as Mr. Krabs?
Probably. I wouldn't put it past.
Okay, no, Mr. Krabs is Clancy Brown.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're a
What?
SpongeBob fan. I can't.
No. Listen. Okay. So Ryan.
Oh wait, no. I went into the comments. Yeah, voiced by Aaron DePaul and Krabs is Clancy Brown. No mind.
Yeah. The reason. Okay. So yeah. One, I know that. So shut up. And then two. The thing about Clancy Brown, who does Mr. Crab, also does the voice of Lex Luthor.
He also does
He does a lot. If you actually look into it, he does a lot.
What's his name? Sortor from Thor 2.
Yep.
That
he
fiery
plays,
demon.
He plays a lot, and he's good though too. That's the thing. The voice actor is Darren DePaul, who was in.
Oh, he's great, Darren DePaul. He does a lot of voice acting. A lot.
He does. He was in a lot of animation, video games. He was actually in. Was he in Spider? I think they said something. He was J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 1, and Miles Morales. So in the 2020 Avengers, he was Hulk. He was Professor Gabriel Kraft in Call of Duty Vanguard. So he plays a lot of characters.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So it's definitely he's good. That's all you can say is he's good. So
I mean, and again, like that's another thing that you give these voice actors credits for and all that. It's like when they do a lot of games or a lot of like movies, shows, animes, you name it. It's like it's just, and people shit on what they do. It's like a lot of like Overwatch's voice characters could also be doing like other games too, like these games. There was actually the one that plays Samara from Overwatch is in Diablo 4. I believe. Is it Samara? I think it's Samara. Yeah, I know one of them is in Diablo 4. Like you can hear the voice line, and it's like, oh shit, that is her. It's like, yeah,
that I did not know.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys both being on here. It's been
You are welcome.
quite a while. It's like almost an hour and a half. So, which is usually pretty good for
just a chill day stream. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for chill streaming as well. This is a little bit. This is nice. I actually enjoy this. We might just continue this format up a little bit more, just more of the bullshit stream.
Yeah.
I'm starting to like that a little bit more. It's a little bit easier. But alrighty, everyone. I appreciate everyone for watching. Be sure to check out Way of the Lock. He is up on TikTok, also on YouTube and Twitch. Black Scorpio is also up on Twitch, and he's still working on that YouTube channel.
I will get on that social media.
I got faith in you. I bless you, my mystical magic. Hopefully that'll help.
He'll get to it eventually in a long time, sometime, maybe never. So
you got the domain expansion of procrastinating.
Pretty much. And then as for me too, be sure to check out my YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff as well. Alrighty, everyone. I appreciate everyone watching. Like I said before, and as always, I'm Taylor from Afro Official G, and I will catch you all in the next.